6 weeks ago today, a hurricane set its sights on the North Carolina mountains and left a lasting mark, a scar that spread hundreds of miles, impacting countless families, businesses, and livelihoods.
102 people have been confirmed dead and several are still missing. Now, 6 weeks later, we went back to some of the hardest hit areas to see how they're doing. Box by box, Alan Cunningham is sifting through his waterlogged belongings.
Everything's still wet after 30 days.
The shed behind his house held years worth of stuff, now caked in mud after Helene flooded his Yancey County property. He was in his house when the storm hit.
When I saw it at 6:30 Friday morning, it was no big deal.
Yeah.
At 7:30, it was 5 feet deep in here. And me and the dog were up on the stairs, upstairs.
His neighbor took these startling pictures. With water filling his home, Cunningham admits,
I was at peace. I'm a strong believer in God, and He's going to take care of me, and if I go or I stay, I'm fine.
Also taking care of him in the days that followed, Samaritan's Purse volunteers who just showed up one day and emptied out his entire first floor.
And then they proceeded to tear down the paneling and the sheetrock and pull the floors up. And then they sprayed the whole house with mold before they left 2.5 days later.
He says he's grateful for the help and focused on rebuilding. Driving through the mountains, it's easy to see much of the damage remains. Even more than a month later, some areas look like Helene just hit. It's not for a lack of help. Everywhere we looked, we saw teams of people working to get things back to normal. An hour west in the small town of Marshall, the National Guard is very visible right now.
A lot of what you hear in the background is the big trucks now that are moving. They're washing the streets. They're emptying the basements. They want to work.
Chris Worley manages Shady Side Florist.
All of our materials, all of our stations, all of our equipment, 50 years of business was gone overnight.
Rising water filled the buildings downtown until the pressure couldn't hold anymore, shattering storefront windows.
And it basically just flushed everything like a toilet, took everything out of the buildings and down the river. That white sign is our shop.
Photos immediately after the storm are alarming when you see how the town along the French Broad River normally looks.
Get set.
Photos have also been top of mind for Sarah Decker.
Got it. It's a real honor to be able to make art during this difficult time.
The local artist is taking tin-type photographs around town, printing photos onto metal, giving them an old classic look.
I'm doing the same technology that would have been used during the 1916 flood.
She says she wanted to do something for the town after Helene destroyed an art studio where she worked.
I kind of just put my darkroom in the back of my Subaru and drove down here last week.
Countless others have felt called to help, like in Swannanoa, where volunteers feed storm victims every day.
We don't have a grocery store locally, so we're just really grateful to be relying on the good nature of our community to feed us.
Rebecca Danzinger is on both sides. She's helping get people back on their feet while also needing help from others.
We are completely relying on the water that's being provided right here. Without that, we wouldn't be able to do anything, wash our hands and prepare small meals or even coffee in our homes.
There aren't as many resources here, so it feels like it's going to be a long, long stay in this site.
Amanda Friz-Krause is one of the workers who transformed Blunt Pretzels into a daily feeding site. It hasn't been easy, both physically and emotionally.
We served a family funeral that had 11 family members die. Just one family.
It's a sobering reminder of the devastation that spreads across dozens of counties and a reality that life will not get back to normal for a while.
Our water's still coming out brown, so I feel until we have security around water, I don't think it's going to really feel better.
Even with so much left to do 6 weeks later, many are remaining optimistic.
Every day we get something done and go from there.
Appreciative for the help and for their neighbors.
I'm definitely heart focused and wearing my heart on my sleeve, and I just want to give people hugs a lot of the time.
Every day has been a good progression. I got nothing to complain about.
It was incredible. It was my first time out there since the storm hit, and it's shocking that it's been 6 weeks and so many places still look the exact same, as if the storm just hit. But it's just going to show you that the damage is so widespread that it's going to take so long to get them back to normal.
What was your initial reaction when you were driving on the interstate, then you finally made it to the town, because you've made multiple trips to Asheville before this storm hit that town?
It really felt like I had gone to a tornado and reported on a tornado right after it had happened. It was unbelievable that just so much of that area is crippled, and it's going to take so long for them to recover.
Now, I know it just made you smile, just even seeing all of those amazing people out there helping those families impacted.
So many people they have out there helping. I mean, it's not for a lack of effort.
That's right. That's a great story.
Thank you.